Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Daily Crypto Byte. And today is Friday, August 20th, and we're getting some really exciting price action. So I'll be brief with the intro here because Bitcoin looking good, the S&P looking good, VGX 2.0 launched. Lots of exciting stuff to talk about today. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. What do you say, fellas?
I say we do. BCH, please.
CJ, why don't you start us off, my friend? Because I know yesterday around market close, you were talking about publishing a trade insight. You went ahead and did that, shared it with our members for Bitcoin. Do you want to pull up the Bitcoin charts and tell us what you're seeing? Because I like what I'm seeing today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be pretty similar to the Elliott wave pattern that I showed yesterday. But I first want to start off by talking about VGX 2.0 and just, being grateful that everything went very, very smoothly and our accounts are all, back up and running. We can trade, buy and sell VGX. So it's fantastic. It's very interesting during this swap. I mean, obviously, the trading was halted on VGX or on Voyager and Binance. However, we had Uniswap traders going in and pumping that coin because there was virtually no volume or no liquidity. And so we actually went up to a price of about $7.50. Came down, once the swap came back online and was tradable on Voyager and Binance, we came down to about 350, 375, but now we're back up at about 420. And so really nice to see everything go smoothly there. Congrats to the Voyager team, and really glad to see everything's running smoothly now. Also, Coinbase has some big news. They are going to add over $500 million in crypto to their current holdings and balance sheet. And the CEO, Brian Armstrong, tweeted that the crypto exchange will also invest 10% of its future profits into cryptocurrency, either Bitcoin, ETH, or otherwise. So really interesting news. Two massive headlines there. The last one I'll get to as well before we go into price has to do with the second largest US mortgage lender now accepting payments in Bitcoin. Everybody's trying to get your BTC nowadays, but that is United Wholesale Mortgage. They have announced plans to try to accept Bitcoin starting in Q3. So a lot of headlines and really no surprise to see why we're up and see a little bit of bullish price action today.
Yeah.
All right.
Lots of positive news across the board. So let's hop right into it, CJ. What are you seeing in terms of the technicals? I know you were waiting for, a bullish close yesterday and then some bullish continuation today. You're getting that. So are you a happy man or what?
Well, I mean, it's tough to get super optimistic after you've been through so many Bitcoin crashes. But yeah, I do like what I'm seeing, and I am happy in the short term. What I do like on the RSI that we were a little bit concerned about earlier in the week was, let me change that color so you guys can see. I was a little bit concerned about these lower highs on the RSI. However, what we're seeing now is higher lows. So we're almost forming like this ascending triangle, which is much more neutral in terms of momentum of the overall trend. We're also seeing volume up 10% in relative terms to Bitcoin today. So that's pretty bullish as well and a positive sign. And, yesterday we finished on a very strong close at a bullish engulfing candle right at the 0.5 Fibonacci level. Now we're starting to see another bullish engulfing candle following that as we test the previous highs at around 48K. So, I'm going to ride this Elliott wave pattern until it breaks or until we get a firm, bearish close. At that point, I would probably look to exit in the short term. However, the current target still remains at 51K, and I think we're gonna see that continuation for the short term here. But that's what I'm seeing, and I'll pass back to you guys.
I want to pose a question to you, Doc. I think today a lot of Bitcoin's price action, especially once we get to that critical resistance at the previous all-time high, could be contingent on performance in the traditional markets. So what are you seeing in terms of, traditional market performance today? Do you think we could close up or, is there still some precarity in the air here?
Definitely still precarious, but the market has been able to work through it. When you see a situation CJ and Monty, where all news is bad news, then you know you're in a bear market. When all news is good news, you're in a bull market. We are still in a bull market because there has been a scant amount of good news this week broadly in the equity markets, that is, guys. But the markets have been able to shrug that off. I mean, 4 days ago, we hit an all-time high in the S&P. And as Tom Lee at Fundstrat said, then we started to see really rapid price declines and then bounce backs, and then price decline, then bounce back for the last 4 sessions. This is the 5th day, of course, after the horrific news unfolded about how quickly Kabul fell and so forth. And yet we are within striking distance of many of these all-time highs yet again. So again, we never want to pretend we're smarter than the market. But right now, there are definitely more buyers than sellers. There's certainly buyers on dips. And I think that's something that when you see that, you don't want to fight it. It's just like the Fed. And I think that we are likely to still see elevated vol for a while, but perhaps not those jumps that we saw 2 days ago, where we saw volatility in the pre-market peak at 2474. We're back down now in terms of volatility terms pretty substantially from those kinds of, let me give you the latest, the hot one right now. The hot take is that we're down 7%, basically right back down to 20. We were at 15.19 a week ago. So this is still elevated, as I'm pointing out, but 15.15 last Friday versus 20.07 right now. That's like I say, an elevated level that is indicating that people are not completely comfortable with what's going on here. And I wouldn't be surprised, guys, to see us do as we've done for the last 4 days. Go down, then up, then down, then up, and then usually on the close, we kind of bleed off. Just like we've talked about with crypto, and Monty always hits on this, that, weekends make you nervous, holding crypto long into the weekends. It certainly makes you nervous here that people are holding longs at near market highs into a weekend where we really don't know what's going to continue to transpire. And things like the president's press conferences and things are not helping confidence. But again, that's not causing markets to flop over. Let me see. I think I can share something here, guys. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I have an interesting thing. If you guys don't mind, I'll share a quick, let me see. Share screen. Let me see here. Do you guys see a video? It's not running yet, but do you see a video on there?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I was afraid this might not work that way. Let me see. Let me see. Cancel. Let me try it one more time. Let's see. Share. Oh, video file. There we go. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
All right. So, how many degrees is it?
108.
108. This is a rig.
I got 3 right here.
You got 3, and you guys are, what are you mining?
Ethereum and Raven coin.
Raven coin.
Yeah.
They're paying.
Yeah.
Raven's paying.
And there's one coming up down there.
God damn. So how much yet? Oh, amazing.
I just thought you guys would get a kick out of that. I can stop sharing it now. But
look at that GTX. That's beautiful.
Yeah, since you guys used to mine, and maybe you still do you still mine, CJ?
No, I don't have the hardware anymore. If I do, it's mainly kind of like a petri dish in the sense that I just want to see what the blockchain's doing or how it actually validates. But in terms of profitability, I just look to trade from now on.
Right. Well, those 2 young guys, I'm going to say they were in, late teens, early 20s. are in their 108-degree room mining with those 3 rigs. And I thought that was pretty interesting. I think overall, guys, one of our followers, and gosh darn it, I forgot who it was, asked us to comment on Cardano and or Ethereum. And I'd be remiss if we didn't comment on Cardano because it just passed Binance Coin as the 3rd most highest market cap, which is pretty impressive, ADA, Cardano. And I know this is one that you guys have been believers in forever. And so I just thought that I'd point it out that, yeah, we see it. It's now over $70 billion in market cap. And that's pretty darn impressive. What do you think in terms of Ethereum here, guys, as far as the next move since Cardano is already, making headlines with this big spike in its value?
What's really interesting, John, is those miners that you just showed, they were mining Ravencoin, right? Which has really boomed in popularity since the Ethereum improvement protocol that was recently rolled out, because, ETH now is burning a portion of the mining rewards. So since that Ethereum improvement protocol, people have been looking for alternatives to mine, like we just saw with those miners, but also been looking for alternatives in terms of speculation for utility blockchains. And I think Cardano has been a tremendous benefactor of that. Obviously, they have the news that, they have smart contracts coming to their platform very soon. Like Bill Parker points out here, it's only weeks away. The Alonzo fork will be coming soon. And, that's going to bring a lot of utility to this platform. And and Cardano's been performing well without utility. People have been speculating on it, because they believe in Charles Hoskinson and believe in the network. Now we're finally getting some clear-cut utility, and I think this thing could really perform well over the coming weeks. So yeah, I like Cardano, and full disclosure, I am still holding it, definitely.
Well, and how about Ethereum? Any thoughts on that one as we surge here in the crypto land into the weekend?
I still think Ethereum has very nice supply and demand dynamics, specifically because of all the Ethereum staked for ETH 2.0. I think when you take more and more of that off of exchanges and lower the liquidity on spot exchanges, it can really make demand, only a little bit of demand, really make price increase and increase the volatility of the overall assets. In terms of technicals, we are still facing a little bit of resistance. We haven't made a new all-time high like ADA, or even a new all-time high since the recent peak. But I think it's going to be very contingent on Bitcoin, and I think it's going to follow that trend if Bitcoin continues to make new highs here coming into the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
love it.
How about some doges of the day, gentlemen? I think this weekend could be, we could see some fireworks here. John was talking about it earlier. The volatility we tend to see on the weekends. I think if Bitcoin and ETH close, up today, we could get a lot of positive performance from our, doges of the day. So what are you guys watching? Doc, let's start with you.
Well, that Tezos trade still like that. Doge, it's up 15% in the last week, up another 6% right now. And as I said, last time it got up over 33, I took off 6 figures of my Doge. So I did not reload when it traded back below 30 this time. Still have about the same amount that I had as I disclosed, I think 2 days ago, just about 10,000 of those. So it's not nothing, but it's not significant, my holding of Doge. I'm starting to see some pretty good pickup in Stellar again, guys, XLM. I'm always more curious about your guys' takes of some of these, but XLM volume's up about 20%. The stock is up about the token is up about 7% right now. And that one's looking pretty good. If you pull up a 7-day chart on XLM Stellar, you're seeing that if you were smart and lucky, you could have bought it a day ago for right around, let me see, and I didn't buy it there, but let me see, what was that low approximately? looks like about 32 cents. It's moved up to 37 cents now. And, I view those the same way, guys, that I view buying a $32 stock and having it go to 37. So even though it's only a nickel in real terms, I like to look at them in terms of how I would trade it as far as if I was in a $30 stock and so forth. I think it's probably got a target back to, the Monday high of about 40 or so. So even though it's pumping right now and it's making a really nice back and forth filling pattern from lower left to upper right, I'm not a buyer right here. For coins that I still hold here, I'll be targeting 40 for an exit.
Got it. How about you, CJ? What are you looking at this weekend?
I've been looking at some assets with a lot of volume around the board. And a lot of them look very stretched, which is why I talked about kind of that Bollinger Band strategy of having a trailing stop kind of earlier in the week. Just the larger we get in terms of a divergence from the moving average, just the more risky a long trade becomes. But overall, I like Maker, and I also like Lina, Lina. That would be linear finance. Both of those are seeing very large increases in terms of relative trading volume. And they haven't done a whole lot in terms of price increase. I think Lina is up about 4 or 5%, but its relative trading volume is up over 100 or 120%. So that's very interesting. And those are the ones I'm going to be watching today. In terms of like ADA, SRM, Solana, I think that they're still strong. However, the first moment of weakness, and that's usually occurs with a large bearish engulfing candle at the top of an uptrend, just be a little bit cautious because they've had such tremendous runs throughout these past few weeks and months. So that's what I have to say for that.
And look at this move, like you said already, CJ. I'm looking at my Voyager coins, the VGX coins, and ever since that successful migration, look at it now pumping at $4.21 or something like that. Very impressive. Let's see, 423, 421. It's bouncing around a lot here, but just love that.
I was hoping to get some below $4, when the swap came back online, but I think some of our friends on social media, I won't mention, but they put in like 100, 200K worth of buys and push that thing way up over $4. So maybe I'll not be so lucky and I won't be able to get that over 4 or under 4. But
yeah, we're looking at you.
Let me ask you quickly about Uniswap. Where would you? Because this one looks like it's making a really nice move. Where would you either? Would you just hold it, or would you take some profits here? It's 28.52 or thereabouts.
Yeah, just glancing at the uni chart for me, it looks very similar to what we're seeing in Bitcoin. It seems like, it was the traders in uni were kind of waiting for some strength in Bitcoin and ETH. And I think that, if we get some continuation here, we break above our previous all-time high in Bitcoin at 48K, that's when you'll see assets like uni really start to run because people are kind of waiting right now. I think if Bitcoin gets rejected and trades down, we might see, some more profit taking in uni. But if Bitcoin breaks above 48K, and continues to run, then I think uni could run to an even greater extent because it'll just bring in so much confidence to the retail trading market.
Okay, thank you.
I would hold uni. I like where it's looking and setting up technically, especially with the market showing strength going into the weekend. But yeah.
Appreciate it, sir.
Very nice.
Okay, remember, guys, if you want to be able to ask questions like I just did, if you want to be able to talk with members in that room where there are thousands of traders, you can do that just by joining the Market Rebellion Crypto, even if you just join it for 1 month. That first month costs you just $1, and then you can pose those questions. Everybody that's respectful, only people that are not respectful get blocked in that chat room, but everybody else gets to talk back and forth, talk their book, ask questions, look for support and resistance. Occasionally, some nuggets get dropped from AJ Monty and so forth that CJ and Monty have been speaking with, and no relation between our Monty and AJ Monty. But nonetheless, a lot of smart people in that room. You can join for $1. Just go to marketrebellion.com/try crypto to get your first month for $1.
And as always, thank you so much to Voyager for sponsoring this show. If you guys are looking for a brokerage checkout, definitely head over to Voyager. We talked about the VGX token a lot today. Very impressive stuff that they're doing over there. You can trade 60 plus assets commission free, and they offer some of the most competitive rates in the industry in terms of interest. 9% for USDC, which is a stable coin, and up to 12% on some very popular assets like DOT, which I published a trade insight for earlier in the week. So if you want to check out a new brokerage, head over to Voyager, investvoyager.com. And when you do, use code REBEL25 to get $25 in free Bitcoin when you sign up. So that's all we got for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and definitely hold on to your handlebars this weekend because it should be a crazy one. But like John said, we'll be in the room hanging out. So got any questions, drop in there and ask them to us. But have a great weekend, everyone. We will see you again on Monday. Take care.
Thank you.